Hello friends, hope you all are keeping safe. During this time of crisis, when the whole world is fighting against this pandemic and we all have locked ourselves in our houses, one of the greatest tensions that is taking toll on most of the parents is the question about their children's future. Schools are all closed, so what about their studies? This is where we are going to help you out. Instead of sitting idle, encourage your children to watch the videos and keep in touch with studies. They should not feel detached and demoralized, so let us make this quarantine productive and keep the flow of knowledge going. Today's lesson will be on pronouns, and I will be discussing about the reflexive and emphasizing pronouns. But before getting into the topic, we must define pronoun. You already know what nouns are. Now, pronouns are words which are used instead of nouns while talking or writing. So what are pronouns? As I said, pronouns are words which are used instead of nouns in a sentence. For example, if you take a sentence like let us take this example. John saw a snake in the garden. The snake was lying still. The snake was black in color. So this is our example. Now, don't you feel that this particular word snake is striking in your ears too much? Like it is being repeated time and again. It is being repeated time and again, right? So this is where a pronoun will help you in writing up a sentence. Pronoun is basically used instead of a noun in the sentence so that we can prevent this kind of a repetition. So if I have to use a pronoun in the two sentences, so how will the sentence change? They will become as, over here, John saw a snake in the garden. Instead of saying again the snake was lying still, we can write like John saw a snake in the garden which was lying still. Now over here, again, instead of writing the snake, we can write the word it. It was black in color. So you see, the words which and it have been used in place of the word snake. And just see, the meaning did not change at all, while we could prevent the repetition of the word. So, basically, words like it, he, she, they, we, etc. are all examples of pronouns, right? Now, like every other part of speech, pronouns are also grouped into various categories. Now, pronouns are grouped into quite a few number of groups. There are 9 kinds of pronouns in all. They are personal pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, indefinite pronouns, possessive pronouns, then we have reciprocal pronouns, relative pronouns, reflexive pronouns, and lastly emphatic pronouns. Now, I will not get into all the pronouns in detail in this video, but yes, of course, I will discuss, or I will just mention about 1 or 2 examples of each of the pronouns, so that you get a basic idea of like which are the words that fall under each of these categories. For personal pronouns, you have words like he, she, they, etc. The very basic ones. For the next type, that is demonstrative pronouns, you have words which indicate the location of the nouns. They are this, these, that, those. Interrogative pronouns, which help to form questions, help to question. They are words like which, who, and so on. For indefinite pronouns, you have the words like none, several, because see, the words like none, several, they don't tell you about any particular number. So like they talk about an indefinite amount. So these are the words which fall under the indefinite pronouns. Then you have the possessive pronouns. Possessive, the words which show possession or the ownership. So words like his, your, her, so on. Next is reciprocal. Reciprocal, words like each other, one another, and so on. Then you have the relative pronouns. Relative pronouns are words like which, where, etc. Next is reflexive pronouns. Words like itself, himself, myself, so on. The last type is, of course, the emphatic pronouns. Now, emphatic pronouns has, different other names. The word emphatic can be written as emphatic or emphasizing or intensive. Three of the words, like three of the names, mean the same, and examples are again itself, himself, myself, so on. Now, over here, do you see something very interesting? Don't you feel both reflexive pronouns and emphatic pronouns have the similar kinds of examples? Like you see, both reflexive and emphatic pronouns have words like itself, himself, myself as their examples. So apparently they seem to be similar in their kind, right? But no, there are a few differences between the two which make them different from each other, which make them unique in their own selves. So today I will be, talking about those differences or the things which, the points which make these two pronouns different from each other. Although they look quite similar, yet they are different from each other, and that is what I will be discussing in this video of mine. You know, reflexive pronouns are used as objects of the verb in a sentence, objects of the action that is being done in a particular sentence. And another point that has to be remembered is that these reflexive pronouns they return to the doer. Okay, they basically form the objects of the verb in the sentence when the action of the verb returns to the doer. So for the definition, make a note of the definition. So reflexive pronouns are used as objects of the verb in the sentence when the action of the verb returns to the doer. Another point to be remembered about reflexive pronouns, for a reflexive pronoun, the subject and the object are the same. Subject and the object are the same. I will show you this, like I will explain this through an example which will make the definition a bit more easier and clearer. For example, a sentence like I hid myself. So what did I say in the definition? A reflexive pronoun will be used as an object of the verb in the sentence. You see, this is the verb, right? This is the verb in my sentence. And this word is my reflexive pronoun. See, the word myself is standing as an object of the word hid. Hid what, or rather hid whom? The answer will be myself. So this is acting, or this is behaving as an object of the verb in the sentence. And if you take the second point into account, a reflexive pronoun always returns the action to the doer. That is, hid myself. I did not hid anyone else. I did not hid any other, like anything or anyone else. So I hid myself. The word is returning, okay? The action is returning to the doer. The doer, okay? The subject and the object of the verb or of the sentence are the same. So now you understand how to understand or how to identify a reflexive pronoun. I can, show another example. A sentence like, the cat seated itself. Similar thing, the word seated is the verb. So this example, the cat seated itself, as I was discussing. Over here, the word seated is the verb, and the object of the word seated is itself. And you see, this word again, itself, returns to the subject of the sentence, right? So the subject and the object in the sentence are both the same. So over here, this is what explains a reflexive pronoun. Now I come to the next type, emphatic pronouns. And again, I'll explain with some examples that will show you the difference between the two. An emphatic pronoun, as the name suggests, emphatic pronouns, they put stress on the noun or the pronoun in the sentence, right? So how? Example, she herself drove the car. Over here, you see, the word she is the pronoun and the word herself is putting a stress on the pronoun she to make the meaning or to make the sentence more definite. That is, she herself drove the car and she was not drove by anyone else, right? Okay, her car was not driven by somebody else, but she herself was driving the car. So this is one example. The other example is the room itself is big. Again, as I had said, emphatic pronouns put stress on the noun or the pronoun. In my previous sentence, I discussed how the pronoun is putting stress on this emphatic pronoun is putting a stress on the pronoun. In the next sentence, the emphatic pronoun will be putting stress on the noun, right? The room is the noun. The room itself is big. No other room, but that particular room itself is big. Okay? So, now over here, I will like to mention another interesting point that would enable you to distinguish between emphatic pronouns and reflexive pronouns very easily, and you can identify which pronoun is a reflexive pronoun or an emphatic pronoun in a particular sentence. Okay? See, an emphatic pronoun if an emphatic pronoun is removed, okay, is removed, the sentence does not change its meaning and it still remains complete. Okay? Whereas a reflexive pronoun, if a reflexive pronoun is removed, the sentence becomes incomplete. I will tell you how, but before that I will repeat the two the two definitions once again. If an emphatic pronoun is removed, try to remember this very clearly. If an emphatic pronoun is removed, the sentence does not change its meaning and it still remains complete. Whereas if a reflexive pronoun is removed, the sentence becomes incomplete. That is, we can do without an emphatic pronoun in a sentence, but we cannot write a complete sentence without a reflexive pronoun. To explain this, I will get back to my previous examples once again. Under an emphatic pronoun, I had written the sentence, she herself drove the car. Right? You remember this example? Okay? But and under reflexive pronoun, I had written the example, the cat the cat seated itself, right? Now try to relate my explanations to these two examples. I had said we can do without an emphatic pronoun, that is, if we remove the emphatic pronoun, the sentence will not change its meaning and it will still remain to be complete. So you see, if I remove the word herself, the sentence will be she drove the car. So does the sentence change its meaning? It doesn't. Okay, it remains the same. The sentence also remains complete. But over here, if I remove the word itself, see, the sentence becomes incomplete and it raises several questions. The cat seated what? The cat seated who? Where? So many questions, right? So basically, these are the main differences between the two kinds, emphatic pronoun and reflexive pronouns, which apparently seem to be similar in their examples, but show the differences when explained through examples. I think with this, the idea of emphatic pronoun and reflexive pronoun becomes clear. Now, if you think the video was helpful, then please do like, share as much as possible, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel, and of course do not forget to click on the bell icon for future notifications. And if you find any difficulty, or if you have any doubt, any question, please do write in the comment section. If you need any other help, it can be in grammar, literature, anything. If you want any kind of other explanations, then please also mention about that in the comment section. Till then, keep studying, keep using this period, as I said, the quarantine period, useful and productive. Thank you.